In a time of rapid social and technological change, how we experience love, identity, and connection is evolving, especially across generations. Millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha each navigate intimacy and commitment through different psychological and cultural lenses. This conversation explores how shifting values in digital communication shape four key areas: the psychological impact of social media on relationships, changing priorities between career, self-fulfillment, and partnership, cohabitation as a reflection of evolving commitment norms, new expectations around marriage, timing, and compatibility. As mental health, financial uncertainty, and digital habits redefine intimacy, we'll explore how real people are adapting and what it reveals about deeper societal shifts. According to Pew Research Center, 2022, Gen Z uses social media as a primary tool for maintaining friendships and forming new ones, whereas Gen X uses it more to stay connected with existing relationships. How do you think social media has changed the way people connect with each other?
All right, so in my opinion, social media have changed the way people communicate and make relationships, and it has changed a lot. First of all, it made it easier because people can connect from all over the world, and you have a chance to meet different people from different cultures, different backgrounds, and of course it's more and more interesting. But on the other hand, social media have made, in my opinion, people more lazy, and they don't will to go out. They just prefer to stay at home and communicate through social media. And I think it kills the real, true relationships.
I think social media has definitely made it much easier and quicker for people to connect. But I don't think that's entirely a positive thing. Most of these connections tend to be more surface level and short term. So while the access have increased, the depth of the connections might have decreased a lot more.
A Stanford University study, Rosenfeld et al., 2019, found that online dating is now the most common way couples meet, especially among younger people. Gen X was more likely to meet partners through mutual friends or at work. How do you think social media has influenced how people meet romantic partners?
Well, I think it has changed a lot because when I was at your age, there were no social media, so the only way to meet romantic partners was to go out and meet some new friends, make friends, make partners, and stuff like that. But I think that nowadays, even people of my generation use social media more and more often, definitely, and they are getting used to it, and I think it's getting more and more popular.
I think most people meet their partners through social media or just regular dating apps now. And while that's more convenient and allows way more options, such as dating people from other cities or even countries and continents, I think it leads to people losing the sense of commitment more and more with fears.
The CDC, 2021, reports that cohabitation has become the norm before marriage in the US, with over 70% of couples living together before marrying. Younger generations like Gen Z view it as a compatibility test. What are your thoughts on living together before marriage? Do you see more benefits or drawbacks to cohabitation?
Well, when I was at your age, cohabitation was seen as something wrong. Yeah, a lot of people did not accept it, and for young people, it was, let's say, obvious. If you are together, the next step will be to get married, and lots of people follow this rule. Nowadays, I can see a huge difference, and not too many people care about if you get married or not. It's just your own personal decision, and even family members usually do not interfere in your personal life. Benefits, I think. People feel free, yeah, so they are sure that they are together because of their feelings, because of their love, respect, and the need of being together, and they don't stay together fighting just because they got married, and getting divorced might be a huge problem for them. And the drawbacks, I think there might be some formal drawbacks, like in some offices or maybe hospitals. You may not be able to get information about your partner's health issues and other stuff.
I think cohabitation, even if just for a little while before the marriage, is really important, because you can see your partner's habits and simple things, just as how they handle their house chores or their sleep schedule, which might seem not so relevant, but they're actually really important, and they usually lead to a lot of disagreements. And so yeah, and I don't see many disadvantages. Maybe just the formal issues.
A Pew Research study, 2019, found that 69% of adults under 30 view cohabitation as acceptable even without plans to marry, while older adults are less likely to agree. Some people view cohabitation as an alternative to marriage. What's your opinion on that idea?
Well, in my opinion, it's up to people. If they feel together, living with no marriage and no papers confirming their love, I'm fine with it. I think that people should get married when they really feel it or need it. Yeah, but the most important is the feeling between them and the way they treat each other, and they show each other the feelings.
As I said before, I think cohabitation is a good way to see how well you work with your partner as a team, just dealing with everyday issues, and it leads to making the relationship stronger and more secure, so there's no surprises later on. And yeah, I think that's necessary before making such a huge commitment as marriage.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau data, the average age at first marriage rose from 23 men and 20 women in 1970 to about 30 men and 28 women in 2023. In your opinion, what is the ideal age to get married?
Okay, so perfect age to get married. In my opinion, there is no perfect marriage. You just need to grow up and just feel it. But when I was at your age, it definitely the people around you gave lots of pressure. So if you were like 26, 28 or, oh my God, 30, you were concerned as a spinster, and people criticize you and they look at you like, oh my God, you didn't get married, you have no husband, no kids, there is something wrong with you. So people judged a lot, yeah. But personally, I think it's up to a person if he or she wants to get married, and there's no perfect age. You just need to feel it.
I don't think there's an ideal age to get married. I think it only depends on the maturity of the individuals and simply whether they feel ready or not. And in my generation, it's definitely just an option. It's not a necessary step to take when you're in a relationship.
Research in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships supports the similarity attraction hypothesis, which states that shared values and interests predict relationship satisfaction. Gen Z is more open to cross-cultural and value-diverse relationships than prior generations. How important do you think homogamy is in a relationship, That is, having a partner who shares a similar background, values, or lifestyle?
Well, my generation used to have, let's say, no option. So we picked a partner with the same background, with the same, from the same place where we grew up, because the world, let's say, was big, too big for us to find somebody else. But nowadays, I think when the world became small, let's say small, when people travel a lot, people usually choose the person they really like, and they don't care about backgrounds, values, and lifestyles. In my opinion, when we are in love, we don't really care about this kind of stuff. But when people become closer and they start living together, some problems may appear, like let's say lifestyle. If one of them gets up early and the second one it's a night owl, this might be a problem with a distance relationship. And of course, different backgrounds or different values. I think values are the second main problem that people start arguing or even fall apart.
I think it's pretty important to have a partner that shares at least similar values and lifestyle as yours, because it helps to avoid misunderstanding or even arguments, and gives the relationship a better chance to be long-term. And I don't think that absolutely doesn't mean that you have to be the same in every way, but at least pretty similar. And having that core alignment really makes navigating life much smoother.
Social exchange theory suggests people assess relationships based on rewards and costs. While this model applies to all generations, Gen Z places increased emphasis on emotional balance in mental health and relationships. Social exchange theory suggests that relationships are built and maintained through a cost-benefit analysis, where individuals aim to maximize rewards and minimize costs. What are your thoughts on this idea?
Well, when I was younger, at your age, I think that people did not concern too much how much they give and how much they will get for that. When you were in love, when you cared about the person, you wanted to give as much as you could, and that was the smile, the reaction was the best reward. But nowadays, I can see that this point of view is changing, definitely, and now people calculate how much they give and how much they will get back. So this has changed, definitely, and I noticed that less and less people just give because they feel the pleasure of giving.
I think people naturally want the benefits, any kind of benefits in everything, in relationships as well. But in healthy relationships, it's all that support and care should come naturally, not in some sort of calculations way.
According to Deloitte's 2023 Global Gen Z and Millennial Survey, Gen Z prioritizes personal well-being, flexibility, and self-growth over traditional metrics like job titles or early marriage. If you had to order the three priorities right now, relationships, career, or personal growth, which would it be and why?
When I was at your age, and me and my friends thought that focusing on one of these three aspects of life might lead to happiness and to success. But getting older, I realized that the best solution is to keep the balance between three of them, because no matter how your career is excellent, and no matter how your relationship is fantastic, or no matter how much time you spend to develop yourself, if you do not keep the balance between three of these things, you will not wake up and say, I'm fully happy and fulfilled.
It's a really difficult question. But if I had to choose, then personal growth first, because if I'm not the best version of myself, then how can I be at my best towards others in any sorts of relationships? Then career, because if I feel fulfilled in what I do or what I've done, that can also positively impact my relationships. Especially, I think that's important in the romantic ones. And later on, when people have children, a lot of them feel unfulfilled or held back, and that leads to a lot of issues.
The evolution of relationships over time illustrates the dynamic nature of human development. Through each generation, we see new adaptations to the ever-changing social environment. Thank you for your attention. We hope our project helped you see how relationships and human development evolve across generations and continue to shape our lives today.